Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Just Make It Pretty podcast. Today, we are talking about a topic that I have wanted to put into an episode for a really long time, and that is marketing for salespeople and building a personal brand that's specific for salespeople. And I have invited a guest here today that actually has done this for herself, and she's got some really cool insights and things to share about how this actually impacted her career. So I'm super excited to dive into that topic. So before we do, let's run our intro and get started. Welcome to the Just Make It Pretty podcast, the marketing and mindset show for home builders and beyond. I'm your host, Sarah Haynes, and around here we go beyond pretty pictures and we get honest about what's working, what's not, and what it really takes to build better brands, better experiences, and better teams. You'll find creative ideas, practical strategies, and conversations that actually matter. I'm so glad you're here. Now let's get started. So today, our guest, like I said, is someone who's completely transformed how she approaches sales and the process that building a personal brand has changed her career. So I'm really excited to introduce Amanda Sheehan, the Director of Sales at Bloomfield Homes. And she's the creator of the Homegirl Huddle newsletter, which is one of the first places that I saw you online, Amanda. I absolutely love it. I absolutely love all of your dad jokes. And I'm just so excited for you to be here. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited.
I can't wait to get into this. Why don't you do a little self-introduction before we get too deep into this topic? Tell us, how did you get into your role here? How did home building fall in your lap? What's been your journey?
Okay, perfect topic. All right. So I started out as somebody that did not plan this. I didn't want to be in home sales at first. I worked 4 jobs. My dad was sick. And so I took some real estate classes at the college when he was sick and he died. He had brain cancer and they gave him like a week to live. He lived 9 months. He was hilarious. But when he died, I just quit everything, went and worked for my mom. She had an accounting company. And I moved into this little room in my aunt's house that was like my sectional was wall to wall. I had my little dog and I thought, what am I going to do? So my friend said, Amanda, you'll love home sales. Why don't you interview? So I interviewed, got the job. I knew absolutely nothing and I was very shy, very quiet. I just knew I had to figure it out. I come from a family of entrepreneurs. They're like work is life. And so anything that I do, I always immerse my whole self into it. And that is who I am there. So I came from nothing. I start this job and I start learning like, okay, you can make $8 an hour. I would eat a couple hash browns a day. And I was praying at my desk thinking, what am I doing with my life here? And so at that point, I basically started picking up the trade and like really understanding stuff. I was like 19 years old and I looked 11 and I'm like, nobody will trust me. I have to learn everything. If I know everything, then they will believe me and they will buy from me. So what motivated me was learning and trying to understand how to be good at helping people buy homes. And so fast forward 20 years, I've won many awards. I've been a top producer. I've trained tons of people to be in sales where they're selling and killing it. And that's my goal in life, is to teach them real stuff so that they can apply it into their real life and be rich. That's always my goal. Leave me, go make money. Fast forward to, let's see, 2022. I leave a home builder because I just felt like the culture was just not what I was looking for. It was very fear-based, toxic. And I just knew that if I left, I could have a new start. And if I stayed there, then I would be in the same place a year later and probably worse. So I got the call from Bloomfield and they said, Amanda, we want you. We're ready for you. We have this spot in Godly. So I thought, okay, I'm going. I get there and cried. And I said, I ruined my life because there was like no one there. This is very low population, middle of nowhere town. You drive winding roads. There's cows everywhere. And you're just like, how is anyone going to buy a home here? Who's coming here? Those are my thoughts. And I remember crying and my husband telling me, Amanda, if anyone can do it, it's you. And luckily I can. Nothing was ever given to me. And so the number one thing that has taken me through my whole career is figure it out, have a positive attitude, and just believe in yourself. That's really all I've ever done. I'm not smarter than anybody. I just know that if I do more and work harder, I can beat everyone. That's always been my philosophy. And so I'm getting no traffic. I'm not on social media. Let me remind everyone, I look young, but I call myself two 21-year-olds. I just turned 42. And so now I'm pretty much like, I had AOL dial-up. I had a pager in high school. Like I didn't grow up with emails and internet. So I meet people all the time that are like, Amanda, I don't want to be online. I don't know any of this. And I'm like, I didn't know it either. So I just want to make sure it's very clear that everyone understands. I was not good at this. I wanted nothing to do with this. But I'm now in the middle of nowhere town, which became my favorite town of all, Godly, Texas. And I wanted everyone to know about it. It's a gem. I highly recommend looking at it if you live in Dallas, Fort Worth. So I had to find a way to get people to my door because 0 to 2 people a week would come and there's a bunch of home builders and you got to be the one to get the sale. So I had an assistant from TCU. She was young and she was like, Amanda, you got to do these videos. This is the only way that people are going to know about this. And then they can get to know you. And I'm like, I sell houses. I do not do videos. This is stupid. I don't like how I look. I actually went through a transformation being on social media. I lost 50 pounds. I had already started the journey, but I started looking at myself more. So I wanted to look better. I wanted to feel better. And it changed my life in that way, which is a whole nother story. But the first video was horrible. I hated it. I said, I don't like my voice. I don't like how I look. I don't like how I dress. I don't like the lighting. I'm not doing this. And I still didn't sell houses and I was still upset every week about the traffic. So I said, fine, I'll do more. So I started doing more and I started putting like my pictures of sold signs on LinkedIn and showing people like I have been selling some houses. I'm in Godly, Texas, south of Fort Worth, if anyone doesn't know. And so what happened though was I started getting people's feedback and they're like, way to go, Amanda, you're killing it there. Meanwhile, I'm crying at my desk because I wanted 30 sales and I only got 6 and I'm devastated because I have high expectations. I should be able to sell at least 30 homes a month. Never happened, but I still shot for it. So people are over here, Amanda, you're crushing it. And I'm like, yeah, sure. So what I realized is if I show them what I'm doing, they will have a visual and they will associate me with my steps. It's show your homework. So I'm showing my homework now and I'm doing like aerial footage, I'm doing home tours, I'm doing open houses, I'm doing all my community events, my realtor events. I am like showing you the day of Amanda, right? So I'm doing this and all this cool stuff started happening for me. I would get calls, Amanda, can you help me with this? You're doing great. And I'm like, yeah, sure. It's really simple. Let me help you real quick. So then I became a contact with Amanda, help me do this with other salespeople. And then whenever they would get a sale, it'd be even cooler because I'm like, my help with them to get on social media when they're like, they don't believe in this. They're like 65 years old and they don't believe at all, but they tried. Now they're getting a lead. And so they're like, Amanda, what I saw in all of that was like, if you show it and you do it, like it's true. So perception is reality. So I learned that. And then after a year and a half of doing that, I started getting noticed places. They're like, I'd be in Chicago and someone would, Amanda, you're homegirl, Amanda. Oh my gosh, I'm famous. I'm famous from these posts. I'm so cool now. And it started making me realize like how more and more people can see you and you don't even realize. So many people would message me and ask me about houses or, hey, do y'all build in Mesquite? I'd send them a website. So I started developing a following of people that wanted my guidance for home sales to get into the industry, all sorts of things like that. And I think that through that, I got recognized from like leadership and they were like, Amanda, I honestly feel like they probably didn't even understand why they needed me. They just knew, they felt the magic, they saw the stuff I was doing and maybe I could help everyone else do it. So another thing to remember is I was a salesperson that was like, I'm selling until I die. On my deathbed, I hope I close my final contract and then I die. That was like me. So I get this offer to be a director of sales. And I'm like, I don't think you have the right person. Me, I've never done this. I'm a seller. And they're like, Amanda, we really feel like you could help our team. And so I took it because I said, I'm going to be open to opportunity. If these really smart people that have done this amazing company think that I'm going to do this, I'm just going to do what they say. And if it doesn't work, I'll go back and sell houses. So for a year, I've been doing this a year and a half now. And for a year, I felt like uneasy, just like with anything. You're like, I'm good at social media now, but like, how am I going to force people to do this? You can't. They have to get the buy-in and they have to want to do it. And so I took a few of the adopters that were like, Amanda, I want to do like you do. And so they were the easy ones. But then there were the ones that were like, Amanda, I'm not doing that. Nice try. And I'm like, you don't want more sales? You don't want to get more sales? 67% of people that do this get more sales. why don't you want to be one of those people? Your sales are low. And eventually, when they started seeing some of these other people doing it, more people jumped on. I still have a few people that are never going to do it, but at least they're open now, and they're at least, hey, you want to do a video with me? And I think that's been probably the highlight, is that they now are starting to really see the value of it. I signed a contract yesterday for one of my salespeople that just got an Instagram sell. So like nothing makes me happier.
Yeah. That is incredible.
Boom. There's a lot for you.
I know. I'm like, okay,
like,
I need to prepare myself now. Such
Sorry.
an incredible story. And I think so, as a marketer myself, I've been in these meetings and these calls, and I've been with salespeople where I'm saying the same thing. And I feel like I'm selling marketing to a salesperson. And it's how do you get all of those benefits across to them? And the number one thing that I hear as the objection is, I did a video and it turned out terrible, or I don't like how I looked, or I tried it that one time and it didn't work, like instantly didn't work. And so now I've given up. And I'm like, oh, it's so frustrating. So how do you, first of all, have you heard those kind of things? And then second
All
of
the
all,
time.
like, how do you push through that? How do you get through to people to be like, yeah, no, your first video is gonna suck?
They're going to suck for a long time. I've been doing this
Yeah.
for, I don't know, 3.5 years. They still suck. I'm not proud of my videos. I'm having meltdowns behind the scenes. And that's why I like to show bloopers, because I want people to see this is real. I can't even string a sentence together. I ramble. I have to have someone edit that. So what I would suggest is get an editor. I'm a big advocate in, okay, I'm not good at a lot of things. I'll be the first to tell you. But you know what I'm good at? Building a team. I find all those doers that like to do everything, and they're going to keep me on track and accountable, and they're going to edit my videos, and they're going to say, Amanda, you have to do these videos today. I'm going to surround myself with the people that will make it happen. I
Mm.
want to just talk and laugh and have fun all day, but they're going to keep me on track. So maybe if it's a person that needs that, let's get you an assistant that's like ready to do these videos for you. If you want nothing to do with it, then it takes time for a person like that. I have someone that really sold a lot of homes and didn't want anything to do with it. And guess what? Now I have Scott, the professor of home sales. He's out there and he's teaching and educating people on just construction or whatever he wants to teach them. And what it did for him is it gave him a platform to educate salespeople, prospects, and it gave him like this, I don't know, just like an outlet to be himself with more people. And that gave him a lot of, what would I say, confidence. And
Mhm.
I think he's bought in now. But to say, hey, you're probably going to do this for a while and not get any sales, he's not interested. He's already getting them. And I'll get the calls all the time. What about this call? Hey, Amanda, you do really good videos. Do you think that you could help me out? And I'm really slow this month. I'd like to get some sales. And I'm like, okay, this is a long game. This is not an instant, maybe, but long game. This is like an extra supplemental thing that's going to help you when all these other efforts are being done. It's not one solo effort. And I get people from my team that'll be like, marketing didn't do anything for me. And I'm like, what did you want them to do? Like, I wanted them to do a video for me. I was like, do your own video. They're making flyers. They're doing like email campaigns. Like they're doing some of their own stuff. This is your chance to do your part and shine, shine from the sales office when you're there all day.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just very intense with my expectations because I don't ask anyone to do something I wouldn't do. And that's like the best thing about me is I was in the middle of nowhere town with no traffic, and I still was like a top 5 salesperson, I believe. I sold like 145 homes in the 2 years net. So those are big numbers when you get no traffic. And I attribute a lot of it to social media. Like all the multi-channel marketing, 100% is what helped me. And so when I try to get these other people to do buy-ins, I'm like, you might be slow right now, but if you can get people to trust you online, it's just going to be just a whole nother added benefit to you.
Mm.
I don't know. I feel like it's everything. I'm a big
Yeah.
fan.
Yeah. Obviously, I am too, because I'm in marketing and I have I've done
Yeah.
this for my own personal brand, and it does feel slow in the beginning. Like I definitely feel like it was a grind, right? Like it's like you're doing a bunch of work and you're not seeing anything at first. But when you look back at it, you're like, it really doesn't take that long. It's like 3 months and like I'm already getting new leads or whatever. Could you invest 3 months into something? And it's that's one of the things that I try to explain to people as well is yes, it feels slow in the beginning, but as you look back when you're 3 months, 6 months, a year in, and you're like seeing all these benefits, it does suddenly doesn't seem like that long anymore. Oh,
No.
wow, why didn't I do that sooner? And that's something that I'm trying to explain not only for personal brands, but also just marketing in general. Marketing, organic marketing in general does take some time to build up. So why not start right now? Because in you don't know in 3 months, you may really need those leads. You don't know what's going to happen. So now is always the perfect time to start in my mind. And always, and I think it's one of those things that like marketing has had a struggle in explaining to salespeople and to the world, like why that is and why that works the way that it does. So I love to hear like there are some amazing salespeople out there that have really grasped onto it. And I love to speak to them because I'm always like, okay, how did you see that push? Like, how did you make that happen for yourself? What was it that made that click in your mind? Like, yeah, no, this visibility is going to be for me. This is something that I need.
Yeah, you always want, like, what I'm seeing is when I first was asked to do it, obviously I didn't think I needed to have any part in it. But
Mhm.
I see now how important visibility is because I have a video where I'm like social media. Why social media? Because you're everywhere. Like I'm coming from under a table, I'm coming from my fridge, I'm coming from a box. You're everywhere. And
Yeah.
it's silly, but it's true. The
Mhm.
people you was it was Kayla Dawn that was on your podcast, and she was talking about how you have to like be consistent and keep repeating because people forget who you are as a brand. So then you lean into what's going to be memorable for you. So like for me, I'm basically a 9-year-old meets leadership in pink fun stuff. I have a pink car. Everyone like knows my brand. They know exactly who I am. And that's what's so cool is I know I'm on the right track because I get to be myself. I get to have fun every day and people want to come, Amanda, I found a dress I know you're going to love. That is so fun. I just wish more and more people could see that it's going to bring out the positive in them. It's going to refine more of their offering and it's going to bring clarity. And I think that's what it's done for me. It's made me very clear. I've never been a trainer in the like the traditional sense. I never had that. I always just watched and did. And if it went well, I'm going to do it again type thought process. So training people to do things has been like, it's very rewarding, especially when they try it and then it works for them. So now that I'm in leadership, seeing that social media sell was like very big, but you have to put yourself out there. And what's the common thing? I don't like how I look. You were saying that. I don't like people will say, I don't like how I look. I hate to break it to you, but that's how you look. And when they see you online and then they see you in person, that's you. And so do something about it. But the point of it is love yourself. And that's a big thing about it is like if I wasn't going through my journey, I probably would have waited to do it until I felt ready. And most of the time you're not going to feel ready. You're going to either be I got to do it because I'm not selling. No one's coming here. You're not just going to be like, yes, let me go ahead and let everyone judge me and feel very uncomfortable and awkward. Yay. Yay, I'm ready.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. I think too, you said something that was really good, and I want to go back to it. You were talking about like how you have to repeat things. And I think that's such a good point for people to that are have the objection of, I don't know what I'm going to talk about. I don't know what I'm going to say. It's first of all, just be yourself, like you said, just being how you are normally. So there's a ton of topics there. But second of all, you really don't need that many different things. You're going to repurpose them and you're going to keep doing it. And if it feels repetitive to you, it's probably not repetitive for anyone else. Like they haven't even seen those first videos. And it always makes me feel better because like my first videos that I put on social, like I look back on them and I'm like, why did you think that was good? What were you doing? But I'm like, oh, it's fine because no one is even going to see them. So like you get better as you go and people are going to start seeing it more. And then you just keep repeating those same things. So
Yeah.
like
Look at you now. Sorry. I got excited. Look at you now.
oh yeah, no. Definitely have gotten better, but I still look at my videos and I'm like, oh, I even did a professional shoot and I looked at my videos and I was just
Mm,
like, why do I look like that?
that's
Why
you.
like that? But yeah, the rest of you have been experiencing that the whole time. So sorry to you guys.
No, I'm sure it's great.
So that authenticity over perfection is something that I think
Mhm.
is really important. And we know that like people buy from people, right? But they don't necessarily want something perfect. Like even though like I did this professional shoot, right? And I'm like I'm trying to look all polished and professional, like I think those quirks are actually what make it better when I'm like slip up a little bit or like I make a weird face. Like I feel like that's what makes us human and what makes us connect, makes it so that we can connect with each other. So I'm curious to see like how do you inject that into your content? How do
Mhm,
you like bring your personality? Because you're so natural in
mhm,
like even
mhm.
now, like you're just yourself. Like how do you do that?
I'm always myself. In fact, I got onto my girl last night that was doing my because I had podcast was supposed to come out yesterday. It's going to be today now, but I was working on it, and I'm like, do not put a filter on me. Like I do not want a filter. And then I had a meltdown because I felt so ugly and I don't look like perfect. And I'm like, oh my gosh, Amanda, eat something. So I ate something and calm down. My husband's, I think you're hangry. I'm like, yeah, because I love myself. But I don't like when people are doing these filters. It nothing makes me matter when someone puts a filter because it's not me. I am always myself because I don't want to be different when you see me. There was a sales guy that I followed and I watched all the videos and I thought it was so funny and so great. And then, so I thought I knew him. And then I went and met him one day in his model. I just was randomly out and I saw this guy and I was like, oh my gosh, I know you. And he was rude. He didn't get out of his chair, didn't care. And I'm like, okay, so you're definitely not like your videos. You're not yourself. Like you're not the person you sold me, and I felt slighted. I felt like I was robbed of who I thought this person was. They lied to me. I didn't trust them. I want nothing to do with them. Bye. That's how I felt. And whenever I felt like that, I called my husband and I'm like, how am I feeling so wronged by this random person I don't even know? It's because
Yeah.
I felt like I knew them. So the power of social media is so huge because you can truly feel like you know someone. You build a community, they know what they feel like they know what outfit I'm going to love because they know me, my style. But if I'm not myself outside of this, then I'm not doing myself any justice. So I'm always authentic. I'm always going to be that way because that is going to ruin the whole process, right? Don't you think?
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it's a really interesting thing because like you feel connected to people that you see online and it's like I think of all those videos like on TikTok or Reels or whatever and I open it it's like you're having a FaceTime with that person, right? And I've just gotten a little glimpse into their day. And if you think about it like that, like you wouldn't show up on a FaceTime and be like, "Oh, sorry, let me like do my hair and look perfect." No, you're just going to talk to your friend and let them into your day. And I think that is so much more powerful than people give it credit for.
I like how you said that it's like a FaceTime. I think that's amazing. I love the thought of that 'cause I haven't seen it that way. I just know that, okay, I have so many things to say. Okay. Connection. All this
Yeah,
is about connection.
yeah.
And this has allowed me, for example, to be able to reach out to far more people. I would have never been talking to you right now if it wasn't for that whole journey and me getting on. So me doing that alone got us to do this today. So I think that's already so cool. I went to do Convert in Chicago last month and I follow Rhonda Conger. Do you know who this is? Okay.
Yes, of
Love her.
course.
All right. I love her. Okay, so it's very hard when you go from selling to leadership and you don't and you're trying to now create a brand, which by the way, we're all trying to create a brand because we're all trying to apply for jobs, we're on dating websites, whatever you're doing, you're always trying to sell yourself.
Mhm.
I missed that part because I never felt like I was selling myself. I felt like I was always just selling homes since I was young. And I never needed to sell myself. I was like, I felt uncomfortable to sell myself.
Yeah,
So, what I'm learning though is you're just going to show who you are and you're going to be real. And then they're going to get to know you and they can buy into you or not. I'm not going to act a different way because I want someone to like me. Number one, you're either are or you aren't. Generally, high level achievers that are wonderful and fabulous and treat people kind and don't want to steal your piece of the pie. They can have their own pie. Those people love me. The others, maybe not so much. But bye. I'm not interested because I only want to help people that are like growth junkies, wanting to be better, wanting to level up. Like I have a massive whole thing about that. So my podcast is about, I'm not trying to plug it, but I'm on a whole mission to help other people grow if they want to grow. But if you don't, then we're probably not going to be friends. So anyway, I've been following Rhonda, absolutely obsessed for like maybe 8 months has been my journey. And it's hard to find people like women in leadership that basically are in charge of a home builder and are writing books and doing podcasts and doing all these fun things. So I was like, this is like the path that maybe I'd want to go on one day. So I started listening to all of her stuff. She's incredible. She's been doing this forever. And I'm way behind, but I have a roadmap of what I'd want to be.
yeah.
And I'm different, but I could probably be her sister, I feel like. But I go to do you convert and I'm like, the universe is designed this moment for me. I'm meant to meet her. I can't believe she's going to be here. I'm already here. She's going to be here. So I get so worked up and I tell everyone, guess what? I'm about to meet her. I'm about to meet her. She's the first speaker and she puts on this amazing speech. And then I see her walk to the back and she has her entourage and she's like about to leave and I'm devastated. And now we have these other speakers and I'm like texting everyone, I'm not going to meet her. Why did I feel like I was about to meet this lady if I was not supposed to? Why do I feel like this was happening 100% if it's not supposed to happen? Like I was devastated, right? And I'm going through all these emotions. So that we break for lunch. And then I go out and one of the girls with me was like, Amanda, there she is. I was like, get her. And so she gets her and I'm waiting. I'm waiting like, oh my gosh, all these emotions. I'm going to actually get to meet her. I went from devastation to this is my moment. And so I meet her and I'm like, hi, my name's Amanda and I've been wanting to meet you. And I look so stupid. And then she was like, she was so sweet. She's like, calm down. It's okay. Drink some water. And I'm like, I have so many questions. And then I cry again. And then I cry again. And I was like, I'm ridiculous. Well, but this is the power of being online and like actually being yourself and trying to help people and give back because then there are people that are watching. Even if I've never talked to you, I'm watching you. So there can be someone out there watching everybody else. And by the way, she was wonderful. She offered to meet me. So
Oh,
I'm hoping to meet her soon in person. But this will always be our story. The time that I like basically became your biggest fan and not a stalker at all. And then we met, I cried, and now we're best friends. I'm just kidding. But that, I'm sorry, there is nothing that is going to give you more power than something like that. So if you're a new home salesperson and you're not bought in and you're sitting in your model watching a show complaining about no traffic, I promise you, just post a video today. Start now. Start small. 5 seconds, 10 seconds, don't care. And I always encourage people do something that you like. So I have a guy, he's the Jedi Knight Master sales guy. He has his lightsaber and we do
amazing.
videos together. It's absolutely amazing.
I love
People love it, right? So I love it.
That's so cool. No, I always say too, as an introvert, I love that part of meeting someone that already knows me. Like I get to skip over the hi, who are you? What do you do? I don't have to tell you any of that. They're like, I know everything about you, and let's jump right into the good part of this conversation. I skipped all of that part that I don't like. And that's
Yeah.
totally just a me, like I benefit from that, but it is cool. It's like I've got friends out there that I don't know about yet, and I can't wait to meet them. And it's
Oh, I love
fun.
that. I love that. You have friends you don't even know.
Friends I don't even know, hopefully out there, but when I get to meet them, like, it's really cool, and so that part of it, like, you get to skip over a lot of the trust building, and especially in sales, like, this buyer comes in, they already know a little bit about you, they already trust you, so you don't have to build all that in the beginning part of that conversation, so that benefit is something like you can't create that. Like you're
Mm-mm.
not even gonna like you can't do anything for that. It's just put yourself out there and it's gonna happen naturally. So it's really cool.
Mhm. There was a girl in Godly and she would go around the town and show everything about Godly, the
Mhm.
stores, the restaurants, the people. But and everyone would come in, and this is when I first got there. Everyone would come in and would be like, "Do you know this girl? She is it you?" And I'm like, "No," because she was blonde. I was like, "No, it's not me." I was like, "Oh, Chris, it's Kristen. It's Kristen. She's the one that the realtor, and she's the one that does all the videos. She's the only one that was doing these videos." So everybody would she would get leads from it because she would tell
Mhm.
everybody about the town. And if they want to live there, she's the person. And it's so funny that didn't even cross my mind as even an option whenever I got told I need to do these videos. You don't even connect it. Sometimes it's staring you in the face and you don't even realize why you should do it.
Mhm.
That's
That's the
funny.
most that's the most impactful too. I actually had a conversation with a client yesterday about this anti-selling idea of make these videos, you're selling yourself, you're selling your product, but you don't have to talk about the features of it every time. You don't have to walk through a model home and be like, here's the kitchen in every video. They're coming to get to know you. You can show the culture of your company. You can show the
Mhm.
process behind your day, behind the home. There's so many things that aren't just here's a little mini ad that I'm creating today. And people love that. They love to see those things that they wouldn't normally see.
Yeah, it's like whenever when I was in the model, I would do like design boards. I'd be like, hey, here's our newest tile. I don't know if do you like the green or blue? Would you even put
Yeah.
this in your kitchen? but people feel like they can join in and put, yes, I would put that in my kitchen and join that poll and feel like they were a part of the choices of your inventory. So that one I thought was really cool. Making things personalized, being authentic, those things are never going to hurt you for
Yeah.
all the things we've said. I
Yep.
think testimonials is a good one because then they feel like this buyer really trusted Amanda. So I feel like I can trust Amanda. There's so much, there's so much loyalty in it. Now it can go the other way. Like there's a salesperson that has a lot of social media, and I'm like, I wonder what their numbers are because I'm over here trying to prove we need social media. And
Mhm.
then I'm out of the field now. So everyone forgot everything I did. And then now I'm like, they're like, that person does a lot, but they're not selling tons of homes. And I'm like, but there's another element we're not connecting here. You
Mhm.
have to connect with a buyer. You can't just do social media. Just like with an OSC, if a lead comes in your door and you have an appointment, now you have to do your job. Now you have to sell a house. So that
Yes.
was the other thing is you get the person, and if they're not trustworthy, if they're odd, if they didn't meet that connection with you, then you're not going to even have a chance. So all of that got you nothing. So you
Yes.
need to be, again, yourself, and you
Mhm.
need to be someone that others can connect with. And that's just sales 101, as far
Yeah.
as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All those same principles apply. So now that you're in leadership and you're helping people do this and like follow in your footsteps, how do you like talk to other leaders about this? Because one of the things that I've come across is businesses are like, we don't really want our team to make videos. What are they gonna say?
Mm.
What's gonna happen? They're like, no. Or they put a lot of roadblocks in front of them. They'll be like, yeah, you can make a post, but these 5 people have to look at it before you post it. And then that's the whole thing. So like, how do you talk through that? Or like, how do you think about it?
We started that way where it was like, I guess they can do one. And then we sent out rules, follow these guidelines, don't, no cussing, nothing that's not a part of our brand. So I think you
Yes.
have to align with the brand. I
Mhm.
think like you can't be someone that is against everything that the company stands for. That's weird because then if you're out there sending this message, it's conflicting. This was a very hard one for me because there's people that do it really well and there's people that they're not so great. And I think in the end, if it's authentic, it's not going to hurt. I struggled because again, I was in the field, and I don't know if there's anybody listening to this that was like selling and now you're in leadership as well. But for me, I was growing my brand and I was doing well. But then I got into here and I'm like, I'm not selling godly anymore. What am I selling now? And so I had to have the mindset of, okay, I like clothes. Let me help this local boutique, Lemon Cake in Fort Worth. Let me help them sell some clothes. Because on my weekends, I'm free. I have nothing to do. I have no children. My husband's working. He sells homes for Bloomfield as well. And I'm like, I got to fill my time. I'm bored. And so I started finding ways to sell because I thought if I can help digitally sell things for other people in my spare time, I can learn how to sell houses more and guide them to Bloomfield. But
Mhm.
in this, I got a lot of hate. There were people that were like, Amanda, I don't know about your post anymore. You're wearing these Target clothes. And I'm like, Target actually reached out to me and asked me to use my videos. I'm excited, but they were like, but Amanda,
Yeah.
that has nothing to do with homes. And so we had a meeting and I was like trying to explain, look, I'm doing all of my stuff to connect with the women that are 34 to 48 that are our target market that are going on our websites. I'm like doing all the things they like, homes, all the stuff I like, cooking, clothes. They're going to connect with me and then I'm going to get home. I'm going to get them to a Bloomfield home because they trust me. But nobody could understand this. And I'm like, my marketing could, but other people couldn't. And I'm like, I couldn't understand it. I was so frustrated. And I wish I could go back in the moment because what was said to me was, Amanda, you're just trying to grow your brand. And
Mhm.
I was like so offended. And I was like, I was very defensive. And I was like, no, I'm trying to help us. I'm trying to help us, but I couldn't explain it. I didn't understand. I just knew it was right. And now if I went back, I would say, I absolutely am because it is going to help us. I know it. Right. But at the time, I couldn't equate how it would work. And I
Yeah.
think this is really important to talk about because I didn't want to see, I went from selling to where if you don't sell, obviously you don't have a job, but I always sold. So I'm always going to have a job. So I went from that to leadership, which finding your place and trying to understand how I can help people, but also grow a brand to help the company. And I struggled with that. But now I'm like, yep, I'm growing a brand. And by the way, I got 3 leads on my Instagram. So I sent them out to the neighborhoods. I think we're going to get some chances here. But it's a slow evolution of understanding that. And I recommend for more people to believe that in their people. You hired the person for a reason for your company. You're there for a reason. So now Be yourself, be real, and you're going to help them get a home at your place or whatever you sell. You don't have to sell houses to do this.
Yeah.
People spend millions and millions of dollars for influence. And you are an influencer. If you're selling something, you're making an influence. So I'm influencing someone to buy one of my floor plans in Godly, Texas. I'm influencing them because I believe it's a good decision. They trust me, and I'm going to help guide them through the process. This is the best. And so instead of seeing it as a negative, I would encourage people to see it as a positive and actually lean in and double down. I'm a poker player. I love going all in. And I feel like that's what I've done. I'm all in. I'm feeling like it opens so many more doors of connection. And I just wish everyone could see this.
Yeah. Yeah. I wish everyone could see this too. Hopefully
They
now they
will.
will after this podcast. Because I feel like there's so many benefits for the company, as even if their employee's personal brand is not always talking about features of the product that they're selling. And it's a hard thing for people to understand. I've definitely seen that. But if you go to TikTok and you go to Reels or Facebook or wherever you like to watch your video, even LinkedIn now has videos and everything. If you go there, the videos that you enjoy watching the most, the videos that you want to see the most, are not talking about features of a product usually. Sometimes, but usually
Mm,
not. But if you saw that person out in the wild and you were like, "Oh my God, I know you," and then they were selling something, you would be more likely to want to buy from that person that you already know than you would
hmm
be just someone that is off the
hmm
street you don't know yet. The benefits are still there, even if they're doing something else. I definitely agree with what you said about like having guidelines. That's really important. And I've definitely seen where an influencer will go off track and you'll be like, that doesn't align with our brand. I definitely get that. And that's a legitimate concern for builders and leaders. They want to make sure. But I feel like you can do that without handcuffing everybody. They can still show their personality and be real with everyone with those guidelines in place.
But you can really squash someone's dreams, like especially somebody that's just now going to give it their first try, and then you get on to them about this video that was horrible or something. Like I had somebody, they were doing this handcuff thing. It was like, do you have low prices? Guilty. It was like a trend that was on TikTok, and I'm like, I thought it was really funny, but not everyone did, and we had to pull that video down. But I love the creativity, I love the effort, I love trying. And then they didn't get completely, they didn't end it all, but for a minute there, they're like, fine, I'm not trying. Eventually they got back into it and it was fine. But it's like, you also have to, you have to also realize this, they're going out on a limb to try something new too. And so that's why when you have the guidelines, it makes it more clear
Yeah.
and people know what they can do and what they can't do. I've had people dancing in showers. I had to pull the video down. I've had some things. And it's not to say that you're not going to see that, but it was memorable and it was funny, but not the brand.
Yeah. And it's not the end of the world too.
No.
Everyone is gonna make mistakes and it's not the end of the world. It was a social media video. I think we put a lot of weight on things that maybe we don't need to. So yeah, you just take it down. It's not a big deal.
Well, you want, like, when people, we want to meet people where they're at, which is on their phones. And we
Mhm.
have a lot of people that they're escaping for either entertainment or they want to learn something, right? Education. For me, I want to laugh all day long. So I'm over here getting some motivation if I'm down or whatever, or I want to laugh. I want to look up ideas, but I'm not trying to be like, oh, another home tour. And that's where I keep asking people, what's going to be the next thing? Like, where are we going? What's going to get someone's attention? I was at Do You Convert and they were talking about how being human is going to be like talking to a human is going to be a luxury. Like with the where AI is going and everything, people are already suspect. Is that AI? Someone asked me the other day if my video was AI. I was like, no, that's me. That's not AI. But they thought it was. And just the fact they thought it was offensive because I'm a human. I'm not fake. I'm real. And so it was funny how I responded to that because I had put time into the video, but I guess it was so good or it was so bad they thought it was AI. So I think that's another thing that we're going to
Yeah.
be approaching. So that's why everyone's focused on being authentic because eventually, like, it's just going to be something that's a prompt that's typed up and turned into something. So if you get to talk to me, luxury. If I'm on a video and I'm really putting my effort into this, like that's a luxury. And we're together. You're a part of my community. This is real. It's not something that was just made by a computer.
Yeah, people want to be a part of a group. They want to be in your tribe. I think the whole social experience, I don't know if you saw it on TikTok with the whole thing with the group 7. Did you see that?
Is no. What is
So this
this?
they talked so there was a person she made a video about how if you're seeing this video, you're in group 7. Didn't say what group 7 does, Doesn't say anything about why she made group 7, whatever. All these people saw it on their For You page and was like, "Oh, I'm in group 7. What are we doing? What are we doing here in group
Oh,
7?" It took off. And now like everybody that's a part of group 7, it's interesting because there is no group 1 through 6. It's just group 7. But everybody now feels like they're part of
group
this,
7.
right? Like I'm in group 7, roll call, like I'm going out and getting coffee. Who's in group 7 getting coffee today? And it made this community around the original person that created it. And she's actually a musician, I believe. She was like getting her music started. And so she went mega viral and it just helped her. But everybody that's a part of it, they're just happy to be here and be with other people that are like in group 7. And like, how beautiful is that we get to create this and everybody wants that. If we can create that for our buyers, that's what they want. They want to belong. They want to feel like they're making a smart decision. They want to feel like they're buying from someone that they like, that shares the same values. And like, you can do that with such a simple video. Like literally her video was like, "Hi, you're in group 7." And like that,
Oh
and that
my gosh. Are you in group 7?
I am in group 7 and I'm very excited about it.
I feel so left out. I'm not in group 7. I'm going to be in group 8 and I'll be doing this new viral thing. If you'd like to also be in group 8, I will be doing that later.
Now
That's
all of
so
our
neat.
listeners, group 8.
Okay,
Yeah.
we're in group 8. Yeah, if you're watching this, you're in group 8. It's an elite group of 2. Be
Yeah,
great.
I think that the whole idea of social media and building a personal brand, I think it's so fascinating. I think there's so many pros to it. And you really don't even know what those pros are going to be sometimes until you do it. Like even this podcast, starting this podcast, I thought I had an idea of what this was going to do for me and for my business and like all of that. It's been so much different and so much better than I even thought. And so that would be my advice to people too. It's like you don't know all the benefits until you try it. So give it a try. If you hate it, it's not like you can't just stop anytime. So what do you have to lose?
Nothing. You have time to lose if you wait, but
Yeah.
it changed my life. It continues to change my life. I feel like I've really leaned into who I am now. I feel more positive. I feel like I'm making a really big impact. I have a video where it's like I'm filling up a stadium with my views, and I'm like, that's actually powerful because at first I'd be mad at having 100 views, and I'm like, oh, but then if I had 100 people in my model, I would be stoked. So
Ah,
I just want to help people, and what it's allowed me to do is reach more people that are like-minded, that don't know what they can do with their life. And that is my genuine goal, is to reach people, help them see that they can have anything they want. And so this is what a free thing you can have, where you just become a social media member wherever you want to follow, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever. And then you can talk to people like this and literally make an impact. Even if it's one person, it could be thousands, it could be millions. The thought of that, I can't even fathom it. Like, it's the coolest thing.
yeah.
I just think people they don't see it, or they're not even open to it. But then when they do give it a shot, they are believers. But you just
Yeah.
got to get over that hump and try it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're totally right. That initial hump is the hardest thing. The first step is always the hardest, but every step after that's easier. So it's only up from
So
there.
get uncomfortable, feeling uncomfortable, and then keep feeling uncomfortable and keep making the videos, and get somebody that can edit. That's another thing.
Yeah.
Editing. I can edit, but I don't have time to edit all these videos. So get an editor. There's people out there that can whip your videos up, and then that just saved you time, and you can focus on selling houses or whatever it is you sell.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty easy to find help with that kind of stuff.
Do you have an
Awesome.
app like you? There's like great apps out there that
Mhm.
can do, that'll have templates and stuff.
Yeah.
Uh,
I use CapCut a lot. That one is just super easy. But even the apps now, Instagram has its own editing app now. They're all coming out with these. TikTok has its own. Even if you're just editing right inside the app, they're adding features all the time. Canva also has features now, and I'm obsessed with the new Canva features that just came out. And I was a Canva hater for a while.
oh,
They have video stuff that came out or that is going
mm,
to be out, so that's going to be really cool too.
I need to check that out. Okay, I learned that.
Yeah. Thank you, Amanda, so much for being here. Your energy is just so magnetic, and I've had such a fun time. I feel like this episode could go on for a lot longer, but I want to give people a way. How can people reach out to you? Tell people like what you're doing, what's exciting, where they can find you.
I'm doing it all. Most importantly, I really believe in Bloomfield Homes. It is like I'm obsessed with home sales and people getting affordable housing and for them to own something. So this is very important to me. So bloomfieldhomes.com is going to be where you can go look at our floor plans, and it's an amazing culture. Highly recommend Bloomfield Homes, and they're just in DFW. So we have about 70 neighborhoods that you could check out all over. I'm on LinkedIn. I do Homegirl Huddle on there. So LinkedIn, I'm just Amanda Sheehan tag. And then on Instagram, I'm Amanda Sheehan tag, your homegirl. On there, I do funny videos and I educate and motivate. And then I just started my mandatory podcast where it's not optional, it's a mandatory. And that is going to be on Spotify. So you can always follow me anywhere you want or come up to the corporate office in South Lake and say hi to me.
Awesome. I love your podcast name, by the way. Very cute. I can't wait to tune in to that. I'll put all the links for everything down in the description box. So head down there. You should be able to just click right to find Amanda. That's always the easiest way. So I will do that. And thank you again. Thank you for being
Thank you.
here. If is there anything last words that you want to say before we close this episode down?
Just start and you can do anything you want to do. If you believe it, you will achieve it.
Absolutely.
Bye.
Yeah, mic drop. We're good.
Yes. I'll be
Thank
like,
you.
sparkle.
All right, everybody. Thank you for being here. Please, this episode, follow us everywhere: Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, LinkedIn. We are everywhere. Please like the podcast, follow us, and come back next week. We'll have more guests. I can't wait to see you again. Thank you. Bye, everybody.